Hey there, it's Angela, and I'm so glad you found your way here to architecting. Creative careers can be stressful, and it's hard to be vulnerable, but this is your landing pad for raw honesty. I'll help you get clarity, reconnect with your passion, and have the career of your dreams. If you're ready to make a difference, have an impact, and say bye-bye to burnout, stick with me, and let's get architecting. Well, hello there, bright lights. It's Angela. Welcome to today's session of architecting. I have some great news. I've been selected by AIA Ohio to receive the 2024 gold medal. This is such a huge honor, and for me, it's also really a portal to what I can do next. Because I really view these kinds of milestones in our career as a starting point and not a destination. And to be honest, I wasn't sure if this was the right time to go after this. You have to be nominated, and I had to really think about whether I wanted to go forward and have those who were supporting me make that nomination, because it is a big step. And I take very seriously what additional responsibility comes with this kind of recognition. Yes, it is clearly a recognition of what you did in the past, but it's also a portal to what you can do in the future, stepping into even more and having the influence to make a bigger difference. What does that mean? What is that next step? And I can tell you that one of those next steps is I will be joining the board of AIA Ohio. So I'm thinking about what it meant to be on the board of AIA Cincinnati. I'm past president this year, so it's my last year. And what it meant to serve on the national board of the American College of Healthcare Architects and be part of so many initiatives. And how do you meld both of those perspectives, the different levels of AIA as an organization, but also pulling in the only specialty certification they recognize, which is that American College of Healthcare Architecture. Ohio has the fourth largest number of certificates in ACHA. So how do we bring that together? There's a lot of great health institutions here in Ohio and a lot of healthcare architects who are very, very well known and very good at what they do. How do we bring these things together? Where are there opportunities to expand mentoring platforms? I'm involved with a couple of national level mentoring programs, including my friends Carl Sergio and Josh Ming's program that is called Nexus, that works in cooperation with the College of Fellows. How do we bring more awareness of that to Ohio, get more engagement there? So there's just so many different things that become possible as you begin to step into these different levels, what it means to be in the company of those who've gone before you, and how you become a group, and what does that group then become responsible for doing. I really believe that we are here to be way showers, and while you can do that in any level, the more you become seasoned at what you do, the more your expertise becomes recognized and acknowledged, the more other people then see it as credible before they even know you. And sometimes you're illuminating a path someone didn't know was there, and you're giving them the encouragement and support they need to go down the path. Sometimes you are showing a way less traveled, and that yes, it is possible to do. And sometimes you take a damn machete and blaze a whole new trail because it's necessary. And that is why awards and recognitions are so important. A lot of people don't pursue these things or think that they are vanity accomplishments. And they're not. They actually are an important way that you are a leader and an advocate for others. People are watching, people see you. You don't know how many people who identify with you now believe that something's possible for them because they saw you do it, because a spotlight was shown on your accomplishments and your career path. And that even goes to the way we conduct ourselves in the day to day. Did you land a really big win in an interview? Did you get a lot of praise from a client after a meeting about how well it went? Did you really learn something powerful in some research you were doing? Did your project win an award? Did you hear good things post-occupancy about how the design is working? We don't celebrate the wins. We get so busy and we become so focused on the future that we don't really anchor in what it means to have accomplished what we've accomplished today. It can be hard too when you have a really big win that your friends and family don't understand because they don't work in this industry. So you're like, got this award or I accomplished this thing. And they're like, yeah, okay, let's talk about me. And it just deflates you, right? Think about how excited you were and what a big deal this is, and they just don't get it. I've been exploring this concept of future tripping with one of my private coaching clients because she's falling into the path of something that I see so many of us do, which is to say, when I do X, then I can do Y. She is in the process of trying to launch a private consulting business and has so many great ideas. And she's definitely taking a lot of action, but she's focusing on what she hasn't done yet and letting that be the reason she doesn't launch instead of focusing on what she has done and how to move forward with that. And of course, she'll do more and we'll add on to that. But she can't use what she hasn't done as a reason not to keep moving forward. And I want you to think about that in your own career. How many times do you work so hard towards a goal? And then when you accomplish the goal, instead of saying, yes, I did it, this is really powerful, let's celebrate, all you can think about is what you haven't accomplished yet, what you still need to do, what the next deadline is. And you just focus on that, not on the win. I've seen this also happen in the dynamic of how we support others. So someone may come to you and say, I just became a lead accredited professional. And their supervisor, their boss, they might say, that's great, but remember, you still need to get your license. How you doing with those tests? How many more do you have to go? Well, it's true. The person should be working towards licensure. In that moment, by focusing on what they haven't done, it's negating what it means to be a lead accredited professional. To say, how is my career different now that I have this certification? What authority do I have now? What agency do I have now with clients or on projects or in the industry? Instead of focusing on that and helping that person grow their influence by celebrating the win, the focus was on what they didn't do. I was chatting last night at a reception with a colleague who became both an ACHA fellow and an AIA fellow last year. And both of those are such tremendous accomplishments. And she was saying, yeah, I don't even really feel it anymore. I've already moved past it. We do this to ourselves all the time. When somebody has an accomplishment, we poke holes in it, or we ask questions that feel like we're trying to minimize it. Like, well, who else has done this? Do other people doing this have influence? Was it really that hard to do? Right? We find all these reasons to harsh the buzz instead of amplify the buzz. And in doing so, we put a damper on things. My ex-husband hated holidays. He always felt like, why bother? What difference does it make? And he would kind of roll his eyes as I festoon the house for Christmas and other holidays because I love doing that stuff. I would always say to my kids, because I really wanted them to learn this lesson, anything can be seen as just another day. But if we never celebrate what's special, then nothing's ever special. And life was meant to be special, which is why in our family, we have a policy every Friday we go out to dinner. The person who had the biggest win that week gets to pick the restaurant. And sometimes the win is just that you got a good grade on a test, or you managed to get a letter out the door or something like that. It may not be that big. Other times, like last Friday, where you went out to celebrate me getting this gold medal. No matter what, we say, what was special? What was special? What can we really celebrate and enjoy and savor having accomplished? This is so important that if you were to work with me one-on-one as a coach, I would be asking you between sessions to do something I call celebrate the wins. Have categories of wins and ask you to document how you celebrated them. And so many times, the next time I meet with that person that I'm coaching, I'll notice that section is left blank. I'll challenge it and I'll hear things like, I was busy, I didn't really have time, and they will minimize the work that they did between the last time they met with me and this time, even if they have had some pretty worthwhile accomplishments. They don't take the time to fully acknowledge them, feel them, celebrate them. In our profession, we deal with a lot of messy, complex problems. It's called a practice because we're never going to get it right. We're never going to be done. We're always going to have to keep growing and evolving. But the motivation to do that, to grow, to evolve, to innovate, comes from achieving small wins step by step until they become big ones. Every time you level up, it's like you're on a new plateau and there's a new vista before you, and you can step into something bigger than you could have before. That's exciting and that's powerful. It ultimately is world changing. Today, I am inviting you to do a quick inventory of the wins you have had just in the last week. Write them down. Really think about what it meant to get them done. Do not say, oh, that was easy, so it's no big deal. Or say, well, I'm the same person I was yesterday, because actually you're not. Sure, I didn't know I was an AIA Ohio gold medal winner until Friday of last week. And you could say on the outside, is Angela really a different person because she's getting this gold medal? But on the inside, I can tell you absolutely I am. I'm not coming from a place of ego of look how great I am, but looking from a place of knowing that the work I do is making a difference, knowing that I have up-leveled and now have even more agency to advocate for the things that I care about. That subtle shift, if I choose to celebrate it, right? That's the distinction, is going to change me forever. in a way that I'm growing and evolving even more, doing things that I never even thought of being possible 2 or 3 years ago. And that is what it means to really celebrate and anchor in all of your wins. Today happens to be Friday, and one of my coworkers who just found out this week that he has passed all of his ARE exams and is now a licensed architect. Yay! Brought in treats and sent a note saying, Happy Friday to all those who celebrate. I just have to say that, yeah, that's the spirit, right? Let's celebrate the Friday because it is the end of the week and we have a lot to look back on and feel good about. Think about how you can do that this week. What can you do to acknowledge your own wins? What things can you aspire to instead of taking yourself out of the game and saying, I could never do that? What could you aspire to that would help to uplevel your life? And how can you do that for someone else? How can you point out their wins? How can you celebrate their accomplishments? How can you help them see what more they can do and be because of them? I want to leave you with that and thank you again for being part of the architecting community. Don't forget to tell a friend about this, to like, subscribe, and leave a review. And make sure you check out my YouTube channel. I've got some great content there that you won't find on the podcast. Take care, everyone, and have a great day. Thanks for listening. If you want even more content, head on over to architectingpodcast.com and subscribe to my newsletter and get some great free downloads while you're there. Be sure to follow me on social media. On Instagram at Architecting Podcast, Facebook and LinkedIn pages are Architecting, and the YouTube channel Architecting Podcast. Stay inspired.